Okay, I don't think I've been this excited for a Monday in a really, really long time. I'm pretty easily excitable, but we launched our merch store today. We have a bunch of articles to talk about, and this Monday is just setting this week off.
Everywhere I go, the people really want to know who I am.
All right,
who I
okay.
be. They stop and stare when
Get the
they
Monday
see
bounce.
me.
Everybody listen.
To repeat, run up on me.
go.
What to your knees?
I kind of feel a little swaggier this Monday.
I feel so swag. I feel like I can just groove. Like everything feels like there's music in the background, you know?
So Kyle sent me a text message late yesterday afternoon. It was like, dude, literally verbatim exclamation points. Like, I'm literally getting emotional over the fact that I just got our referral program to work. Like literal tears, Kyle, literal tears.
Yeah, my wife was standing there. I'm like shaking, typing because I'm so excited. It was super fun. Like you get to learn, I learned a ton, some different codes, some integration stuff, did some MacGyvering over the weekend. And so it was super fun to be able to kind of go, yep, check, nailed that, fun innovation piece. And hopefully people that got our email this morning, click into the rewards and see exactly how they can get referrals and all that type of stuff. And you want to get to 3 because getting that coupon code for free stickers is all the rage.
Hold on. We got to back up for a second. If you're not aware, we have an email list. You can go to ASOTU.com and sign up, as you see on the bottom of the screen. Now this email list has a referral program. First of all, last week we went daily. So we launched an email every day. It had been just Monday for like 18 months. We went every day. Our open rate jumped 6-7%. We broke 40% open rate on Friday's email, meaning that we increased throughout the week, meaning that it's actually bringing some value and thoughtfulness to the industry. So today we launched a referral program.
If you're watching and you open the emails, thank you. That's a big deal to us.
Please understand that we have more gratitude for you than you can possibly imagine. And that's only going to continue to grow. We launched a store. We made up all kinds of swag. I mean, I wish we had it physically in hand, but I need the mug that says early mornings are for troublemakers. Yes. I need the mug. So we launched this store with all these swag and t-shirts and stickers. And then we launched a referral program. So now if you just share the email that a lot of people think are pretty good, you share that email with your friends and it'll automatically track your shares and give you coupon codes at different levels. So you can get free stickers and t-shirts and crew necks and bracelets and a pin and all kinds of stuff. So check it out today if you haven't yet, or if you're just don't want to wait for the referrals, you can just go to shop.asotu.com and you can just buy stuff. But please refer people to the email. So we don't want to talk all the time about that, but it was a massive step forward for us and a massive point of excitement, a massive technological feat. Kyle just really burnt the weekend making it happen. And so we're excited about it. And this is the beginning. Remember this day.
I want to real quick. I want to shout out my family because I don't typically put in a lot of work on the weekends. And they knew, like, I went in, my wife, I was like, hey, look, this is it's a big weekend, big launch, sat the kids down. Hey, daddy's going to be on the computer a couple times. And they were super gracious. So they listen a lot and my wife listens. I want to be sure in front of everybody and also to her, like, thank you so much for putting up with me this weekend and encouraging me and bringing me water and rubbing my neck when I needed it. That was a big deal. So
amazing. I love family business. Exactly. Right? Takes all that stuff. All right. So we have some news and some stuff to talk about as usual. We have Clubhouse rooms this week. So we had great rooms last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and a collab on Friday. We have Clubhouse conversations. You can check all that out at asotu.com as well, or asotu.club. It'll give you all the dates. Let's talk a little. What do you want to talk first? Automotive, technology, retail.
Let's get into automotive. I'm feeling automotive this morning. Yeah,
that's a good way to feel. Go for it.
Yeah. So I'm scouring the internet for, just what's going on in the dealer world. And wouldn't you know it, but yet another study comes out that was put on jointly by, I think, CDK and NADA about just what do customers not like about the purchasing process, which is, first of all, let me just say, there's never like the study that says, what do you love about buying a car?
I know.
Maybe we're just like continuing the narrative by saying, what do you not like about it? Instead of like, drawing out the positive things. I'm just going to say that as an
That's a
industry.
good point. I mean, we assume like people like taking delivery. Like we heard a little of that last year, right? Like the good things about the car, but buying the car in the process. But yeah, I think we're probably assuming more than we know there. Good point. All right.
Right. So maybe whoever does the next survey, lead with, what do you love about buying a car? And maybe it might reinform or reprogram the narrative. But the reality was that basically dealership employees as a whole, leaders and dealers, thought that the average transaction time was about 1.8 hours on average, right? This is average over a bunch of people. And that customers felt like it was taking 2.1, which means we're hedging like just under a half an hour from our sides on the dealer side, right? So just perspective is a big deal, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, it doesn't take that long, right? And customers are like, no, it takes that
over
long.
2 hours, right?
Right.
Dealers are like an hour and a half. People are like over 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, right? And that's an interesting perspective. And what's this quote? We have, for example, when the sales process was reported to take 3 hours or longer, 57% of dealership respondents said re-entering information was a major pain point. I think our friends at like A to Z and few, like they're leaning in. We're like, yes, re-entering information, or anyone that's using, an online shopping tool that doesn't translate into the showroom.
You know what's crazy?
Fix this.
Is if you asked your salespeople or your service advisors if this was a pain point for them too, probably yes.
Absolutely. Right? It's like the worst, most awkward. Like, can you give me your address again? How do you spell your last name? Right.
This is literally we don't care with you. This is the equivalent of in 1999, you picking up the phone to call Dell support and saying your name, email address, and phone number and account number 4 times with each and every rep. It's just happening with the newest technology still. We've got to solve for this. We've got to have open APIs that like have clear roadmaps, that the mapping is correct, and that whether, think about this. Everybody in automotive is like, well, they have technology outside of automotive that just helps with that. Well, yeah, because everybody's working on APIs, clean webhooks, right? And they're allowed, like, it's so easy.
Explain for the people.
Referrals. I'll give.
Did I do that?
Give me that.
We got nerdy again.
Well, you use like 2 phrases in there. I'm like, I don't think we're tracking. What's a webhook?
Yeah, so a webhook is essentially a place on like a URL to store data that another source can read. So one source can push to a URL that's a dedicated URL that another source can read any new updates to that URL. So it's slightly different than an API integration, right? Where the endpoints are directly integrated. But there's a bunch of different ways. Like, for instance, on our referral program, right? We had to use a series of secure link webhooks in order to make sure that customer data flowed so that you don't experience this like, wait, but didn't they know I was going there? Right.
Yes. Right.
And that's what, like,
letting technology do the work.
That's what the rest of that's why it's so painful, right? Is because when you go from Facebook to the shopping experience, or from anywhere to the shopping experience elsewhere digitally, right? It's all connected. And so when that's not happening in the retail transaction at a dealership or at service, that's a disjunct experience from what they just did probably 10 minutes ago, ordering any other good, right? And I think that that's where the pain, I'll give you an example, right? In the dealership that I was last at, I would train a lot, and I would say to salespeople, like, over the 8 years of me managing customer feedback, right? Feedback, we consistently increase the level of technology in our dealership, right? Yet customer feedback stayed level. And that's because the expectations increased, yet our ability to meet those expectations was only on par with the expectations or lower. Right.
And that's a great insight right there, because I was just with a company, and they have a really terrible website currently, but their customer service is outstanding. And they revamped the brand, they're about to revamp the website. And I said, do you realize the second you do that, you're going to have to deliver to a higher level, because the reviews are so great right now because the expectation is low. going in.
Right.
When you hit a crap website, right, and they deliver really well, high reviews, right? Wow, you
Bingo.
really over-delivered, right? The ancient adage, right?
This is why
Underpromise,
dealers are like, no, we're going to
overdeliver.
keep our websites terrible.
Yeah, no,
More
but somebody
pop-ups.
else is going to do it for you. Speaking of using technology to make the dealership process easier.
Segue.
Oh,
Dude, a nerd and a segue. Let's go.
all on a Monday. So there's an article about German dealers. It was, I think I saw it in Ward's Auto today. They curate some articles. And they said German dealers use blockchain to process finance transaction. So basically, this is dealers using the Ethereum network, and we're getting nerdy again, but using cryptocurrency and blockchain technology to securely and quickly verify finance transactions and applications. This isn't like la la land. This isn't like somebody over the horizon. This is a dealer doing it right now. Basically, what it means is dealers might be able to process finance transactions completely without the bank, because everything is verified instantly. And typically speaking, bank fees, you know, 1%, 1.5%, because there's all this bank involvement. But can you imagine if the blockchain is the one that verifies all these things? It's going to save the customer money. It's going to make it fast. I love this pull from the article. It says, when toying with the idea of using blockchain for car financing, one dealer said the thought was like a little bit like asking if you should use a laptop for your bookkeeping, right? It makes that much sense. So for the people who understand it, you're like, yeah. But dealer interest has grown. Startups have validated the concept. And so this isn't something that's over the horizon, like too far, right? You can start to see people are starting to do that. I know the conversation is ramping up on ASOTU Pitch Tank. This week.
Exactly. We're going to have someone that's dipping into this, a company that could enable dealers to do that. So if you're a dealer, you're listening and you're interested in that, it'd be a pitch tank to listen to, because you're going to get like the dip your toes in version of, is this possible for me?
And if you don't know, Pitch Tank is Clubhouse room on Wednesdays where tech companies will come and pitch their idea. They get 3 minutes, and it's kind of reviewed and vetted by a lot of marketing and technology experts. Some are really actually great cryptocurrency experts as well. So if you're not sure, you can just come listen in to a real-time conversation of a company kind of pushing the boundaries, and a lot of other bright minds in automotive that are trying to shoot some holes in it and see how it might work. So it's definitely a place you want to be and something to watch. Let's go a little retail, a little pop culture retail. Anybody out there have a Peloton? Do you have a Peloton?
No, I don't. I've had it in my cart on the website no less than 8 times.
Which means you've seen a ton of Peloton advertising.
So much remarketing.
Once you put it in the cart, so you know, once you put it in the shopping cart, you're going to start seeing ads for it everywhere, just so you know.
Everywhere.
So you didn't, I have a Peloton. We've had it, we got it actually right before the coronavirus even showed up. And so we were kind of just a little bit on the Peloton train, but the long and short of it is Peloton's taken a big smash lately in their stock price, because usage has gone down. Hours used or hours written have gone down quite a bit. And, there's talk like, can they make it on their own? Are they better acquired? Do they just need to pivot and follow through? And there's been some talks of acquisition, and some of the names that came up to the top: Nike, Amazon, and on the news that they might be getting acquired or considering it anyway. Shares are up 30%. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Kyle? Acquire, pivot, or out of business?
Man, that's a tough one, because I do think that there's an element to someone acquiring them and putting it into a system, right? Like, I see Nike as a really good play for this, right? To bring some of like the Nike app and some of that, like some of their exercise stuff, to a platform that's in-house, like in-houses, could be something where an already attached user base jumps in, right?
Yeah.
But I really think that this is like, for me, treadmill business became very, very commercial and less residential. Early, like in the 90s, treadmill business was like, right? And I think I think that we may see a similar trend, especially people getting back to gyms, getting back outside, working out together, things like that. So I'm a little bit nervous about it. I think the 30% jump is a little ambitious.
Well, I think the 30% jump is probably ambitious. I know we're wrapping up the show in a second. I happen to think that Amazon has a higher level of integration potentially than Nike. Nike, the app, yes, because of this entertainment and shopping. I think Amazon can offer entertainment and shopping and integrate that with your behaviors. I mean, like Nike, you can buy stuff, but you can only buy Nike stuff.
Yep.
Amazon, like continuing that experience, like I'm focusing on a screen.
Riding your bike, just Amazon Prime and everything.
Oh, all day. All day. Now there's product placement that you can tap on and purchase. Like I think Amazon has a huge play in doing some of that. I haven't heard any of that anywhere, but I tend to think that attention is the most important thing. And Amazon can do more with attention than Nike can on a regular, every life basis. So that's what we got for Monday. I tried to give you the full spectrum, try to get you thinking outside the box a little bit. Hope to see you this week in the Clubhouse weeks. If you haven't, sign up for the email, asotu.com, make some referrals, get some swag, and look a little good.